I want to start this video off with reminding you all what I said 4 days prior on the 19th. And what I said was you can't even say something is bullish now without being immediately shut down. The bearish sentiment is extremely loud, and all you hear about now is war, riots, .com-like crash, etc. There are rarely any bullish charts or posts on my timeline. We are going much higher, but most won't believe it right now because of what they are hearing and seeing. One of the biggest things over the last couple days that we were dealing with was the Israel and Iran situation. And even during that time, I said, yeah, things might get a little bit rough from here, but make sure that you are understanding what's happening. This is a shakeout. People are panicking. Everyone is worried, scared. We are in the eye of the storm right now, and this will also pass. And guess what? Check out the market today. This is what the daily looks like. This is what the hourly looks like. We are in a nice little sea of green. We love to see this. And of course, a lot of things are pumping in a big way. Ethereum up 7.7% on the daily. QNT 9.1%. XRP 6.9%. HBAR up 12.8%. Guys, this market is bouncing back in a big way, and that's because Bitcoin is at 105K, Ethereum 2,400, XRP $2 and almost 16 cents, and the daily looks very good. A lot of altcoins are actually up double-digit plus figures. On the weekly, we're starting to get green, but we still need a little bit more, movement to really kind of get there on the weekly. And then, of course, on the monthly, yeah, we're still in some pretty heavy red across the board for most altcoins. So it's going to take a little bit of time to bounce back, but I do suspect that by the end of, this month into like the beginning of July, we should be right back to, normal situations, which is exactly what, we really kind of expected anyways. But I'm happy to see this. Now, in terms of the actual market, this is what the market looks like. $3.1 trillion market cap. Fear and greed still around like 37. It was at 37. Now it's at 47, actually. It just spiked while I was looking at this. So $3.24 trillion market cap. I guess coin market cap just lagged behind. But we're actually up 4.9% here. Overall market looks pretty good. I'm actually watching Ethereum closely because we actually are starting to outperform Bitcoin, which is exactly what we want to see, especially while Bitcoin dominance is as high as it is. I mean, we're at 65.38%. I have been also looking at Ethereum dominance as well, and we were actually looking at these lows being ran. This is more so on a macro view. I think it was on the 3-week span. Yeah, on the 3-week span, we were looking at this, and we were like, all right, well, this should be our bottom area down here as a demand zone. And, so far we have wicked from it. And now we're also trading in a very similar situation to like back here in 2020, where we were just trading sideways after hitting a nice resistance level, which could very well be the case right now for Ethereum as well and for the rest of this market. We could very well be in this 2020 timeframe where we might have to wait a little bit longer. It really all just depends on, where we are at in the market, right? Compared to previous cycles. But anything could happen at any moment, which means, yeah, Bitcoin dominance could have a massive drop in it. We could have altcoins really just go crazy, and that could happen at any moment. We've had it happen in the past, but what we really want to see is Ethereum dominance really kind of take the lead here, because we want to get into that phase 2 of the overall cycle. But the good news today is that we basically have the war over. World War III, which was getting completely, blown out of proportion. I mean, everyone was talking about it. World War III is here. The market is done. At about 4:02 p.m. on the 23rd, Donald J. Trump did post on Truth Social, "Congratulations, world. It's time for peace." This was followed by a few additional posts like this one, which was Iran has officially responded to our obliteration of their nuclear facilities with a very weak response, which we expected and have very effectively countered. There have been 14 missiles fired, 13 were knocked down, and 1 was set free because it was headed in a non-threatening direction. I'm pleased to report that no Americans were harmed and hardly any damage was done. Most importantly, they've gotten it all out of their system, and there will hopefully be no further hate. I want to thank Iran for giving us early notice. How comical is this? We want to thank them for giving us early notice, which made it possible for no lives to be lost. So are we talking about one big show here? All, one big, manipulated shakeout? Because that's what it feels like. So this was also, a part of that post that also got posted by Trump, which I'll talk about here in a second. But I do want to finish up with this one. So they want to thank Iran for giving us early notice, which made it possible for no lives to be lost and nobody to be injured. Perhaps Iran can now proceed to peace and harmony in the region, and I will enthusiastically encourage Israel to do the same. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Donald J. Trump, President of the United States of America. So over the weekend, we get this huge breakout of World War III, and everyone is panicking. Crypto is dropping heavy. This is over the weekend. Monday, when the stocks open and the market's trading pretty calmly, we get this. You can't make this up. You can't make this up. I feel as if everything right now is manipulated and we're just watching one big show. We have over here, this was the ceasefire, so congratulations to everyone. It has been fully agreed by and between Israel and Iran that there will be a complete and total ceasefire in approximately 6 hours from now when Israel and Iran have wound down and completed their in progress final missions for 12 hours, at which point the war will be considered ended. Officially, Iran will start the ceasefire, and upon the 12th hour, Israel will start the ceasefire, and upon the 24th hour, an official end to the 12-day war will be saluted by the world. During each ceasefire, the other side will remain peaceful and respectful on the assumption that everything works as it should, which it will. I would like to congratulate both countries, Israel and Iran, on having the stamina, courage, and intelligence to end what should be called the 12th day or the 12-day war. This is a war that could have gone on for years and destroyed the entire Middle East, but it didn't and never will. God bless Israel, God bless Iran, God bless the Middle East, God bless the United States of America, and God bless the world. So, listen, this is great to see. Very happy about it, obviously. I mean, we never want war, but what's crazy about this is, how fast this all just, yep, it blew over, that's it. It was a 12-day war. Think about how much panic this caused. Think about how much weight was put behind this by everyone on the timeline, and now it's basically over. And also, by the way, we heard from JD Vance, we have thanks to President Trump's bold leadership, the Iranian nuclear program has been obliterated and the 12-day war is over. This is a historic moment and a massive step towards lasting peace in the Middle East. Check it out.
And when you left the White House, were you thinking this was all gelling here?
When I left the White House, I thought that we might be able to get it across the finish line before this broadcast, and it looks like the president has been able to do that. I mean, look, he's been working the phones constantly. Frankly, before the 12-day war started, but certainly over the past 12 days, the president's been extremely clear about America's national objective here. It is to create a world where Iran cannot build a nuclear weapon. We, of course, destroyed the nuclear program that they had, and the president told the entire team, we're going to work to make sure that they don't try to rebuild that nuclear capability in the future. And look, this is a great thing. For Israel, think about this. They've accomplished an important military objective. They've helped us destroy the Iranian nuclear program. They've also destroyed the conventional missile capability of Iran that threatened the country of Israel. For the Iranians, I think this is a new opportunity to actually pursue the path of peace. As I said yesterday, what the Iranians have showed through their support of terror networks, through their now failed effort to build a nuclear weapon, is that they're just not very good at war. And I think the president really hit the reset button and said, look, let's actually produce long-term peace for the region. That's always been his goal. I actually think when we look back, we will say the 12-day war was an important reset moment for the entire region.
So yeah, the 12-day war is now over. This is extremely bullish for the markets, though. I just want you guys to understand that. Okay, we talked about it previously. Regardless of what happened, it was going to lead to the markets surging. This was the best possible outcome. Now, a lot of people are questioning if this is just one big bluff or if this is actually over, because a lot of people are actually saying that Iranian media is saying that there is no agreement, that there was zero, deal made here at all. we don't know what's going on just yet. I say give this about 24 hours to really kind of, sit and see what happens. But right now, the market believes that this is over because Bitcoin is at 105.4K after hitting this nice demand zone down here in the blue, which I did say could very well be the bottom. We have to, be cautious here. But if Iranian media is true and there was no deal made, there was no agreement, and this is all one big bluff, then we need to prepare for the next key levels, which is 93.2K and then down here in like the low 80K region. I want to avoid this low 80K region as much as we possibly can. I'm just saying that it is a possibility. But so far, the overall sell-off here on Bitcoin, and I was originally looking at this on the 3-day, which is why, you can see these candle bodies up here above the upper trend line. This was a 12.18% drop on Bitcoin. So it wasn't extremely significant. It wasn't that crazy of a drop in the market either, which caused so much panic, which I find very comical because if you were here in previous cycles, that drop is nothing. It's actually minuscule compared to what we've seen in the past. But overall, this was a nice fair value gap. We completely filled it, and we actually found support on the 3-day at about $103,000, which is still significantly above, not significantly, but it's still above, I should say, the June 3rd and the June 6th candle body closes around 101.4K. So we still actually have a higher low here going off of candle body closes, which is very good to see. The question here is, can we finally break over these upper levels? And that upper level, we really want to break over 112K. Once we get over 112K, we could actually avoid this part of this move and just get into the big push to like 120, 130, 140 plus K. A lot of people are saying like 200K, 250K this cycle. I don't think that we go that high. Obviously, I would love for us to do that, but I just don't think that that's the case. But in terms of XRP, this is what XRP looks like as well. Again, we already got that nice tap, or at least close to it, of that red region. This is exactly what I was actually kind of looking for down here. The main thing is like I was looking for a triple bottom here around like $1.90, which is directly on the top of this demand zone. We could still definitely go lower here. I want you guys to understand that we could still go lower. It all depends on what happens throughout this week with this situation, because we are hearing from one side that the war is over, that everything is all good, and then we're also hearing from the Iranian media that there was no there was no agreement made at all. So we don't know exactly what's going on here. Like I said, give it 24 hours. Let's see what happens here. Just make sure that you're not getting too excited. Don't, let your emotions get the best of you right now, and just kind of take it one day at a time. But with that being said, I'm very happy about this. If it is true, this is exactly the outcome that we actually wanted. We wanted this to be, we wanted to see peace. We wanted to see the war being over, which will, let the markets really breathe in a big way, which, if this is over and this is the end of it, then let's, that calls for a celebration, because it's a very good thing to avoid war. We don't want war. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, this is Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.